All right, everyone. So we need to read more, and that's the title of this video, something like that. We need to read more. I hate the fact that it seems like the country is getting dumber and we're moving into an idiocracy. Get into your libraries, start reading books, get and inspire the younger generations to invest in science, whether that's in the United States or across the world. Let them invest in science, okay? Let them invest their minds into science. And personally, it's actually much easier to become a scientist than a professional athlete. You know, could I have been a scientist? Yes, I could have been, but for whatever reason, I just didn't have it. I don't know if it was, I wasn't excellent in science. I did get B's though, but just couldn't, just couldn't hack it. And that's okay. It doesn't mean you can't contribute to science in the next generation, but if you can encourage someone to to be a scientist over a professional athlete, I say do it. Reading is very important and it helps us decipher what's true and what's not. It helps us read between the lines, so to speak. It helps us with better comprehension, better conversational skills, and it gives us new ideas for planning for the future or just in general. The literacy rate of this country, I think, is between like a fourth and a sixth grade reading level. And that's a shame too, because I can I definitely have a 12th grade reading level or whatever the highest level is before you get to college. Certainly that. I have my bachelor's degree, but even still, I could tell that it wasn't that hard to read a history book or something from history and then get an A on a history. And I took the hardest history class in college, or the hardest intro class, one of the toughest professors, and I got a 92. That's what happened in that class, or 91, 92. I got an A minus, not even a plus, but an A minus, which is like, you did that and you still dominated? Good work. And not to brag, but it did happen. And but that should inspire you to do it. That even you can still dominate one of the hardest class history classes and do all the readings and stuff and dominate and just really come out and show and write your three essays for your test or write your two short paragraphs and then your large essay. That's what it was at the time, and still show that you've comprehended the material. And that's why reading history is so important too. And it also prepares you for the future because, oh, this idea worked horrible in the past, and they thought lead paint was a good thing and asbestos was a good thing, but the science behind that and all the studying we did showed that it wasn't. Okay, it looks like we're going to move on and we're going to the future and we're going to have better paint and better drywall and everything. We're going to build homes differently with bricks and concrete and stuff. And that's another thing too. I think there's like, and here's something ridiculous too, that I think after most people graduate college or graduate high school, like by the time they've left school, they go years without reading a book, years. And that's a shame too. With all what's going on in social media and everything in that realm, I think that you need to take a break from time to time and read books. When you're done with your break, you know, I'm sorry, when you're done, with work and you're done working out take at least 20 minutes to read. Doesn't have to be much, but 20 minutes, not 15, but 20. Because, you're likely to get at least 8 pages in, even if you do have to go back and read over a few things. But even that will keep your mind sharp. And it's just a good thing too. And I don't care if you don't think it's action. It is action. It's not like intense physical activity, but it is action. You are feeding your brain information through a process called reading. And it's fun. And, I'm not asking you to read, you know, something, long or hard, but you should do that to increase your vocabulary, and you just become a better conversationalist, you know? And I enjoy, and I have the best library where I'm at too. And 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 now they have yoga there and cooking classes and media stuff, and you can do all sorts of things there. And if you're just into the books, so be it too. And you should be, and it's a good thing too. It can be probably the most peaceful place we have right now in the country. And I'm grateful to have the best library that I've ever had. I was going to crap libraries, one level, one story, and it was rare to have a second story. But this one that I'm going to very often has three. Has three. I'm reading the book Banana Ball right now, Jesse Cole, the founder of Banana Ball, and I'm loving it too. We get his story, we get the backstory, and him just entertaining people on stage, and everything coming together with the baseball and the theater. Beautiful too. And 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 I forgot to mention the other thing. It increases your imagination. You might already have a vivid imagination like me, but I'm telling you, like the images you produce in your mind when you read and you think to yourself, oh my God, that is a wonderful thing. Like, or that's hilarious, or you just picture this in your mind. It's powerful. It's almost like a drug, but it's not a drug. It's just the human brain giving you a sense of dopamine. You know, and that's when you get into a really good book. It's a really it's the good stories that transform our lives. And it's the stories and adventures we make that make life worth living too. I think we are in dark times. Obviously, I'm not going to sugarcoat that part, but I do think that the library and reading in general is what's going to build community. It's going to keep us intelligent, and it just might help us steer clear of an idiocracy. I don't know what happened with all the other countries who were building up high-speed rail and doing all the science and the medical research in there, because someone had to have taken that up at some point. But it seemed like the US was either just isolated, or there was like some virus, and the US was the last of it too. Because we don't see the international community in the movie The Idiocracy. But who knows though? I do think it's very important for us to avoid idiocracy as best we can. I really do because, you know, there was a lot of rudeness in the film and people calling each other a-holes and and all the sorts of things and I don't want some random stranger who's never met me to call me, a POS and everything. And you should be respectful to people. Sometimes just bonding over a book or a story that everyone's read or just introducing someone to a story is what is going to make the world better. It's going to make a very big difference in the world. And I know you have that power inside of you. You know, as Orion Pax said, it's not the cog that defines the transformer, but the spark that resides within them. And with that spark, you and that spark gives you the power to change your world and make it better. And no one can take that from you. Just remember that. So I hope you do go to your local library, and just start reading more, get off the screens because you probably need it. And you should control what your attention gets, and you will have the most control of what your attention gets when you read. So I hope you like this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon.